In this lesson, we're going to learn how to find the volume of pyramids and cones. So let's get started. So what exactly is volume? Well, the volume is the amount of space in a 3D object. And so if you think about maybe a glass of water, that glass would be the 3D object, and the amount of water it would take to fill up that glass would be the actual volume of the glass. And so volume is the amount of space inside of a 3D object. The first one we're going to look at is the volume of a pyramid. And the formula for volume of a pyramid is 1/3 base times height, where your B is the area of the base. And so in the example or the figure that we have here, the base is a square. And so to find the area of the square, we would just do length times width. But your base may not always be a square. It may be a triangle. So you would do, to find the area, you would do 1/2 base times height for a triangle. Or your base could be a trapezoid, right? I'm trying to spell triangle, but let me just erase it. But the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Or if you were doing a trapezoid, 1/2 your height times base 1 plus base 2. And so the point I'm trying to make is that the area of the base, you would use any formula for that particular shape of your base. And so let's take a look at the first one. And so the base of this pyramid is a triangle. So the formula that we're going to use to find the area of this triangle is 1/2 base times height. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the area of the triangle. So remember, area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height right here. And so that would be 1/2. So looking at the base of this triangle here, it is 12. And we're looking at the height of the triangle. And remember that the height is always perpendicular to the base, or it makes a right angle with the base. And so if my base is 12, that right angle there tells me that that line is perpendicular to this base. And so my height would be this line here. Okay, that would be my height. And so that would be 7.5. So 1/2 base times height. So I'm only finding the area of this triangle right here. So 1/2 base times height, and that is 45. So 1/2 times 12 is 6. 6 times 7.5 is 45. And so my large B, or the area of my base, is 45. Now I go back and plug it into my formula here. The height of this pyramid, and so let me just erase some of this down here. Okay, so I found area of the base, and so the height, this H here, is for the height of the actual pyramid. And so the height again is perpendicular to the base, and so the base of this pyramid is a triangle, and so the height would be perpendicular to that, or it makes a right angle. So right here, so the height of this pyramid is 10. So now I'm going to plug it in. 1/3 volume equals 1/3 times the area of the base, or the base, which is 45, times the height of the pyramid is 10. So just multiplying that through, I get 150 millimeters cubed. And so it is cubed because it's a 3-dimensional object. And so we have found the volume of this pyramid. Now let's take a look at this example here. The base of this pyramid is a square, and I know that it's a square because my length and the width is the same. So finding the area of this square, which is the base, is length times width. So that's 14 times 14, and that is 196. And so the area of the base is 196 feet squares. I'm just going to put 196 because we're going to plug it in. Now so I found my large B, but the height, I don't have the height here. The 25 is not the height because it is slanted. I need the length that is perpendicular to the base. So let me draw it in red. So I'm going to draw a line. So I need this length here. and it needs to be perpendicular to the base or make a right angle with the base. And so I need to find this piece here. That is my height. And so now we could use the Pythagorean Theorem. We use the Pythagorean Theorem a lot in geometry, but if you're not familiar with it, please see my video, the Pythagorean Theorem, and its converse. It goes further into detail. So basically with the Pythagorean Theorem, you use that to find the length of one side of a right triangle. So we have this right triangle here. I've created one with drawing this line here. And so this 25, that will be called my hypotenuse. It is opposite the right angle. And let me write the formula for Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are your legs, and your legs would be this piece here. We draw an arrow, so that would be a leg, and also the height would be a leg. The hypotenuse, or your c, is always opposite the right angle. So this is my right angle here. Okay, so my hypotenuse would be 25. It is opposite the right angle. So I'm going to plug in this information to find the height. So I'm going to call the height actually x. I like to use x. Okay, we have to find x. And so this length here is not 14. If this is 7, if this is 14, it would be half of that. So this length here would be 7. So one of my legs is 7. My hypotenuse is 25, and I have to find my other leg. Let me make this a little. So I'm plugging it in. So my legs, 7 squared plus, I'm putting x squared because that is my height. I could have put b, it doesn't matter, you can use any variable, but I don't know what that is, so that's why I'm just putting a variable there. C, which is the hypotenuse opposite the right angle, that would be 25. But if you're looking at this video, you're probably familiar with the Pythagorean Theorem, and this is just a review for you. So 25 squared is 625. Subtracting 49, again just doing inverse operations. Since that's a positive 49, I subtract 49. X squared equals 576. And remember, the inverse of something squared is to take something to the second power is to take the square root. So 576, I'm going to take the square root of that, and that is 24. So x, which is the height, is 24. So the height of the actual pyramid is 24. So now I can plug it in. Volume equals 1/3 base, which is 196, times the height is 24. And I could just multiply that straight across. I could do what, 196 times 24. That gives me 4704, and then I could divide by 3, and that would give me 1,568 feet cubed. All right. So when you put it in your calculator, if you do 196 times 24, you get this. Then you could divide it by 3, so you don't get that. You have to put like 1/3 in your calculator, because anything times 1/3, you're really just dividing it by 3. And so if you just put that in there, 196 times 24 is 4704. Divided by 3, then you get 1,568. And so we have found the volume of this pyramid. Now we're going to find the volume of a cone. If you think about a cone, you may think an ice cream cone or those orange cones you may see in a construction area. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi times r squared times h. R is the radius, h is the height. Remember, the radius is in the circle, it is the point from the center to an edge. And so in this particular cone here, so we have the radius right here. All right. In this particular cone that we're given, for example, we're given the diameter, which is the length of the entire, from one end of the circle to the next, right? But the radius would be half of that, which would be 2.5. I just took half of 5. So the radius of this cone is 2.5. I just took half of 5 because I only want this part here. The height is, again, perpendicular to the base. Since the base is a circle here, it is perpendicular to that right angle, or this perpendicular to the base. That right angle tells me it is perpendicular. So this would be the height here. So although this cone is sideways, I know that this is the height because it is perpendicular, or it makes a right angle with that base. And so I have all the information that I need. I could just plug it into the formula. Volume equals 1/3 pi times r. R is 2.5 squared times h. And then 2.5 squared, let's see, that is 6.25. And then I'm going to multiply that by 8. That is 50. So I have 1/3 pi times 50. And then I could do 1/3 times 50, which is 50 over 3. Because 1 times 50 is 50, and then 3 times 1. But that is 1/3 times 50 is 50 over 3. You could put all of this in your calculator at once, but I'm just breaking it down to make sure I get the correct answer. So I'm just doing it step by step. Now, I could do 50 times pi. So you just hit your pi key, then divide it by 3. Or you can do 50 divided by 3 times pi. Either way. So at this point, hopefully, you know that you can multiply in several ways. Doesn't matter what you multiply first. But I'm going to get 52.36 inches cubed for the volume of this cone. And that is it. Alright, so for the last 2 problems, I would like for you to try on your own. I would like for you to find the volume of the pyramid as well as this cone. And please note that you may have to use the Pythagorean Theorem in order to find one of your lengths here, your missing lengths that you need. So go ahead and pause the video and try this or these 2 problems on your own. Alright, so go ahead and check your answers. I have them circled or boxed in red. For the pyramid, you should have gotten 758.1 meters cubed. And for the cone, 3,435.33 kilometers cubed. Please note that I did have to use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the height of the base of the triangle right here. So I had to use Pythagorean Theorem to find that small b, and then I also had to use Pythagorean Theorem in the cone to find actual height of the cone. So in both of these you had to use Pythagorean Theorem, but if you did not get it right, please pause the video a little longer to analyze the work here just a little more. Alright, we've reached the end of our lesson. I want to thank you for learning with me. Some related videos are surface and lateral area of prisms and pyramids, as well as volume of prisms and cylinders. If you haven't already, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And once again, I want to thank you for learning with me.